Hello. It's been another week, and guess what? I'm still just as sick, maybe a little less, but not visibly, immeasurably so. I can't shake whatever this bug I have is. I'm just hoping I wake up miraculously okay tomorrow, because even though tonight was Halloween, happy Halloween to those who participate, um, tomorrow night, my my friends are having a Halloween party. Not just any of my friends, but my friend who lives next door. It's at his house, which is effectively at my house. So if I somehow am not well enough to go to the party, and it is a costume party, I sort of have to live with knowing that my friends are outside of my window. Now that does present the unique advantage that if I do start, like if I start my day feeling well, then I can go to the party, and if I stop feeling well during the party, I can just walk the 20 feet that exists between my front door and his, which is very, very convenient. So it's not the worst situation, but I did book work off, so it would feel quite silly to stay home sick. I booked it off before I was even sick. Anyway, you're probably wondering what I'm going as for Halloween, if I do go. And at this point, I'm not sure. There's nobody I do like a group costume with, at least not this year. And I can't say I've ever done a group costume with anybody, but my plan for 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, was to go as a space cowboy. It was sort of a last minute idea that came to me. As a lot of my Halloween costume ideas seem to, I never really know what I want to be until there's not enough time. I managed with the one for the year before that. I realized, oh, I should go as a detective because that would be cool, right? And I was really into Columbo at the time. So I ordered in a beige trench coat, and I styled my hair all slicked back and suit and tie and suspenders and all that, and I got a revolver. Even though Columbo doesn't carry a gun, I wanted the gun because I thought it looked cool. It was a pretty good costume. My hair didn't stay slicked back for most of the party. It eventually returned to its normal poofed out state. And it was very fluffy, actually. It looked very good. What was I about? Right, so yeah, my idea for 2 years ago was Space Cowboy. I walked into a Spirit Halloween and saw a astronaut helmet and went, Spaceman. I mean, sure, but that'd be kind of boring. But then I'm like, what if I just got a cowboy hat and put it on top of the astronaut helmet? Boom, Space Cowboy, easy. So that was the idea. But the day I had gone into the Spirit Halloween was one day in the middle of a 2 or 3 week period where I was very, very sick. Like, I had nearly collapsed at the end of one of my work shifts, just trying to get everything done because we were short so many people. And that debilitated me. I couldn't go to school, I couldn't go to work, I couldn't get out of bed. I was doing everything on my laptop for about 2 weeks. I had to get extensions on all of my assignments. It was pretty dreadful. This was in 2023, for those who don't want to do the math. So, sort of at the beginning of that, I had one day where I was feeling a little bit better, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm better now. Maybe I'm doing fine. So I took that evening, I went to the Asian market, and then I went to Spirit Halloween, got the costume parts, and then I woke up the next day feeling just as bad as I did when the illness had started. Now, this is a bizarre thing to me, because before that, I guess, before I started having to work my current job, I didn't get sick half as often as I do. Like, the last time I had been sick before that was probably 1 week in my first year of high school. And it wasn't even a week, it was a day where I had happened to throw up. I'm now remembering in 2021 there was a sort of kickback from one of the vaccines, but I don't think that counts because that was like induced. Either way, I'm very sure at this point that the job I have is probably weakening my immune system in some way, or at the very least making it harder for me to operate. All of that's beside the point. What was I saying? Right. So I'm not sure. Well, right. I bought the parts and then I got sick again, so I didn't do anything with them. I had intended to improve on the costume and make it more interesting and add glowing bits and really get intricate with it like I used to when I really went all out on my Halloween costumes. But I didn't really get the chance because I was sick. So the next year I was like, guess I'll do it this time. But I had a trip to Seattle for the Porter Robinson Smile Tour. Planned at the time of the party. I would be out of town the day before and not back till the day after. So unfortunately that one didn't pan out either, and because I knew I wouldn't go to the party, I didn't work on the costume at all, even though I wasn't sick. And as I'm sure you're aware, I've been sick since about October 15th, so I haven't touched anything related to the costume. Now, for whatever reason, on this Hallows Eve, or is it Hallows Eve? Is Hallows Eve the night before Halloween, or is it the night of Halloween? Either way, on this night, my parents decided to go out to see my nephew, because it's, I guess, his second Halloween now, but the first one he wasn't exactly well, he couldn't stand. He'd been 2 or 3 months old. It's just a baby. Anyway, now he's a toddler, so it's more interesting. And they had to go do grandparent things. So I was left at home with a giant bowl of candy for children that I had to hand out. Not a job I particularly dislike. It did mean I had to run up and down the stairs a bunch, and that didn't make me feel that bad, though it did sort of wear me down, and it came to bite me later in the evening, but again, not that bad. But the first time I opened the door to hand out candy to children, they looked pretty disappointed in my appearance, which was a hoodie and sweatpants, which I guess is like, it's not very in the spirit of the thing. I didn't carve any pumpkins like I usually would have, unfortunately, but so I don't know what they were expecting, but I didn't have a costume. So I took it upon myself to throw on the spaceman helmet, throw on my NASA hoodie, and put on the most tech wear pants I own, and whatever other components of the spaceman costume I had for handing out candy. And that seemed to fare a bit better. At least it made me feel less self-conscious about how terrible the state of my hair was. Yeah. We don't get many trick-or-treaters in my cul-de-sac. I don't know if that's a common use word. On my street, essentially. I live in sort of an offshoot that doesn't get very visited very much. There are less than 20 people. But it's still more than I thought there would be because the weather is so terrible right now. Anyway, what have I been up to? I posted some songs to the SoundCloud again, just some recordings. I had recorded a lot more than that, but a few of them were less than a minute and barely formed. I was really struggling one night. And the rest of them are from before I was sick. One of them I sort of did not upload because I want to do something with it. I feel like it has potential. Which, when I decided to listen back to it, I have a folder on my computer which it was just full of named songs from when I'd been recording. But I've split them up now. I've organized it. So I have instrumentals, which is ones that have no words, like Rain Today was one of those. Not uploaded because of lyrical content. For example, ones that are like vent songs where I name drops people. Or if I think the lyrical content is just not good. Uploadable but needs work. Ones that are too broken. Like the idea's there, but it's not like a song. Mid, which are ones I just think aren't very good. Trash, which are ones I think are pretty terrible. And then huge potential, which are ones that I haven't uploaded because I think I could make them into very good songs. I like listening to the recording with its scuff because I like how it played out. And I actually did record one a few weeks ago that's in that folder. Yeah. I told myself I'd be uploading everything, but that was I was under the impression that I would be recording a lot less than I have been. So, yeah, sorry to anybody who believed me from the past. I lied to him. Either way, organizing those files got me onto sort of a digital organizing spree. I don't have the energy to clean my rooms or anything like that, but I do have the energy to clean my computer. So I began organizing again. The last time I went around organizing, I organized pretty much everything that mattered. But I decided to clear out my Twitter bookmarks once and for all. I had been chipping away at it, but anytime I'm not clearing out my bookmarks, it means I'm adding to it. Any piece of art or a tutorial or a clip I wanted to watch but I didn't have headphones, anything like that, something I want to look at later, it all gets put in my bookmarks. Just in these last few days, I think I've accumulated like 30 or something in the last 2 days, maybe less. Less days, not less bookmarks. Either way, it's been, I decided to tackle that this week. The other thing I did last week, I went to work I tried to go to work on Monday. I woke up feeling pretty awful, but I hadn't been to work in 2 weeks, so I decided to go anyway. I took some drugs, I had just a little bit of food, had some coffee, and I drove, and while I was driving I felt terrible, and when I got into the store I put on my mask and I walked in and I felt awful, and then I realised that there was nothing for me to do, so I told the manager that I'm still sick and I went home. Then I tried again the next day, and I felt less terrible, but still pretty much just as terrible, and I spent most of the shift sitting down, like, hoping the feeling would go away. It didn't exactly go away, but it didn't bother me majorly for most of my shift, so I'll probably be going back to work on Sunday as well, as much as I really, really don't want to. Yeah. On Wednesday and Thursday, that's when I tackled my bookmarks, I think. Maybe on Sunday as well. Either way, I had to chip through 4 years. 4 years worth of bookmarks. 4. Like, I had ones dating back to, I think the earliest was August 2021. And yeah, that's a lot. It's crazy because I don't have bookmarks from before then, because before then I wasn't using bookmarks, I was just liking stuff. I wasn't saving anything because I was like, oh, I don't want to copy anyone, none of this has any artistic value to me, like, I had a very different perspective on things, let's say that. Anyway, I got through it all, and I organised the hell out of it. Downloading every tutorial and image, watching every video, adding every anime clip, checking the source for every anime clip and adding that to my watch list, so on and so forth. I checked every VR chat world I had bookmarked. Every single one I checked. I tried a number of the tutorials. I checked in on every add-on and software for Blender, again, standalone software as well. All of them checked, cleared the bookmarks, and at the end of it all, I only had 10 or so bookmarks that I couldn't delete. So I did a pretty good job, and now all of the photos are on my laptop, and I've organized them all into separate folders, like fashion and beauty and objects and structures and scenery and effects and creatures and conceptual ideas, quotes, color palettes, composition, style, graphics, like graphics as in like a poster, not as in like AAA graphics, whatever. No, I mean like graphics as in 2D graphics of a poster or an advertisement, that kind of thing. It's all sorted completely, I think. Actually, no. I have to sort the hair. I have like a subsection in the beauty section for hairstyles, and I have to sort the types of hair dye styles into their own folders, and then sort the each of the individual hairstyles into their length folders. There's a lot of folders inside of folders. It's a bit tough coming up with like categories for things on the fly. But my system works for me. I just wish there was like a better way to do this. What I had tried before on my desktop computer when I was doing this in, I think 2023. Might have been no, it was 2023. When I was doing it in 23, I had put things in folders based on like perspective and art style, and then subject or like type of composition, and then I would name the file with its like key aspects like girl, fashion, color, and whatever else was notable about the image. Because if I named that and then I looked up like, oh, I want techwear, and I look up techwear, then every image that has techwear in it would show up because I named it as such. Or like, I need reference for like some blue clothing, so I'd go fashion blue, and then every blue clothing would show up. And it was a great system, but file names have strict character limits, which means if an image contained like 20 things worth noting down, I was pretty screwed. So I decided to go with folders this time. It's a stupid thing, but I spent like a day and a half on it. Like an entire day, waking to sleeping, that's what I was doing. I've also been trying to nail down a guitar tone reminiscent of that of Stargaze Shelter. I tried to do it last week, and I stopped because I started feeling sick, and I tried to do it yesterday, and I stopped because I started feeling sick, and it was getting late. But I got closer this time, I think. Not really sure. I got a tone, but I don't know. I think I'm worrying too much about it, and I need to go for simpler things. I need to start like worrying about the bones before I start worrying about the meat, I guess. To analogize it. Analogize. You get what I'm saying, I think. Part of me wants to bring my freaky guitar to the party. Not that it would do very well, because I don't think there'd be a speaker around for me to plug it into, but it looks pretty space age. And I sort of constantly have that desire to perform. I don't know if that makes me a performative male. I just like playing music for people. I like proving myself in that way, I think, right? Like, most people, you wouldn't be able to tell that I have a vast set of skills in different things just by looking at me. I'd have to show you things, but then it feels like I'm showing off, and I don't know, it's a complicated thing. And if I'm just like showing people art I've made, like, hey, look at this render I did, then, and they didn't ask for it, it's just me like pushing something onto them. But if I'm playing music in the background, then that's like fine, because people sort of they can tune it out or they get something out of it, and that feels less like forced, but it's still forced. I don't know. It's a tough thing. I think like I think the general rule, well, I don't know if it's a rule. Usually the thing I go for is I don't bring a guitar to a party, but if there is a guitar there, I'll pick it up. Don't bring your own guitar. Part of me wants to like sit on my roof and play as like people are arriving, because I'd be able to see that and that'd be funny. What else have I done this week? So I worked Tuesday. Probably was sorting through my stuff on Monday. This is me struggling to remember because I've been so out of it. I've been waking up around noon and then going back to sleep. My sleep has been pretty long and terrible. I did have a very good dream last night and the night before, but I don't remember a damn thing about any of them. I just know they were good and not like emotionally straining. One dream I did have had spiders in it, but not in like a oh my god, I'm covered in spiders kind of way, or oh my god, a giant spider that's going to kill me kind of way. There was just a spider that didn't look too freaky, but I'm like, I don't like that. And the other person there was like, no, he's chill. Look, he's my friend. I named him. That kind of thing. I don't remember if the spider died or really anything that happened related to that. That was days ago. Here's a funny update. I think last time I recorded, I mentioned I got one of my friends to finally listen to Racing Mount Pleasant. This morning, when I opened Discord, I caught his girlfriend also listening to Racing Mount Pleasant, which means he listened to it and thought it was good enough that his girlfriend might like it, and now she's listening to it. So I'm very happy that it's spreading. Just thinking about it makes me want to try to play the songs on my guitar. Alas. I think the kids are going back to school soon. Like the strike is over. I think. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, the last time I recorded was on October 24th, and message this guy. On the 26th, I was cleaning up my bookmarks, and that was on the Sunday. Okay, that's some updates. What about this day? 27th. Came through that. Oh, came across that while looking through my bookmarks. Sent it to a friend. 22nd, 25th. I really wish I wasn't having such Having such a hard time keeping track of my own life. I really need to do my laundry, I've just remembered. After this I'm gonna clonk out and hopefully wake up early enough to get through my laundry. You know, maybe... Oh! Yes! I've just remembered another thing. I finally finished SIGNALIS. I started playing SIGNALIS in December of 2023, and I was so invested and taken aback by it because of a major twist that happens, like let's call it after the meat area. Yeah, it had me enthralled, so much so that I really, really wanted to share it with a friend who I thought would enjoy it very much. So the intent was I was going to wait on continuing the game until that friend had watched like a long play of it up until that point I had just gotten to, and then they could pick up watching me play it, right? And I could pick up where I left off. Unfortunately, that never panned out, and I waited until a few days ago to finally pick the game back up and finish it. And I finished it, I think, in an evening. I really didn't have much of the game left. It's funny. Still, that game is, for one, freaky. So if you get scared very easily, I don't recommend it. It delves into body horror and cosmic horror, and stuff like that. Its art style is interesting, quite unique. It's like sometimes it's pixel art, sometimes it's very low poly models. The game does a lot of subversive things that really threw my expectations for a loop. But it's very much like a Resident Evil inspired game, with it being you trying to conserve resources while going from room to locked room to other room to find key for locked room, not solving puzzles along the way like Resident Evil. The lore is interesting as well. The story's convoluted and confusing, but that's the point, and having read through the wiki quite thoroughly, I think I've come to my conclusions on it. I'm sort of enraptured by the sci-fi setting it portrays, where the dominant forces, or the dominant cultures that made it to space are communist China, and Germany, and I think one more, because all of the text in the game is either in Chinese, I forget if it's Mandarin, it's one of them, with the complex characters. It's not Japanese, I know that for sure, but that and German, and there's this broadcast that repeats throughout the entire game that's repeating numbers at you, but it's very haunting because it's just this woman's voice going Achtung, Achtung, and then reading out numbers in German, which I unfortunately don't know. But still, I think that game's going to stick with me for a very, very long time. And if you can handle horror stuff, I recommend picking it up. Like, whenever the next Steam sale is... In fact, is there one on right now? It was like, since it is... Halloween's just passed, maybe the sale is over, but... Okay, it's $18 Canadian right now. Or $18.89. It's 30% off. So it's less than $30. And I think I completed the game in 9 hours. Or something like that. Let me check. $11 hours. Yeah. So if you like horror stuff, definitely check it out. If you like, or if you can handle scary stuff, and you like sci-fi, check it out. And if you like Resident Evil, check it out. Game's been out for a while, thinking about it. I'll check the Steam page again. When did this game come out? This game came out in 2022, so not that long ago, but it's like 3 years. This game was made by 2 people as well. There's a lot of people in the credits because there was a lot of like people on the team for porting it and quality assurance when it was ported and publishing. It was like published by the Humble Games. But the main dev team was just 2 individuals, and then they a named artist who has their own stuff did all the music. The music is also very unique. Yeah, I highly recommend checking it out. But I think that's enough about Signalis. I've been meaning to get through more single-player games on in my Steam library. I think the last one before or after Signalis that I was trying to tackle during the in-between was the Talos Principle, but I haven't completed that game yet, so I want to complete all the puzzles, and there's a few that had me stumped, so I've just been chipping away at it slowly, I guess. But another one I want to tackle is this game called Eternites. I'm not really sure what it's about, actually, but I remember following the developer on Twitter, and it looked interesting, and people said the story was good, and somebody bought it for me as a gift on my birthday. So, actually, it might have been Christmas. I think it was Christmas. Somebody bought it for me, so I want to play it. Yeah. I'm about to be in a bit of a tight spot financially, because since I didn't work for 2 weeks, I'm going to be out of a paycheck come next paycheck. Yeah, and then the paycheck after that's probably going to be small, so that's going to be rough. I hope I don't have any major bills to pay by that time. Want to hear something? Hear that? That is the sound of a giant bowl of candy. Like I said, there weren't very many trick-or-treaters, and I started, after the first few, I started just giving out handfuls. But, they stopped coming, because there are, of course, better places to trick-or-treat. So I have this giant bowl of candy that I don't really want. I've already had so much. And there's still so much left, and it's sort of just tempting me out the corner of my eye. But I know if I have more, I'm gonna get a tummy ache. I don't want that. So I've managed to turn myself off of like a lot of candy. Like caramilk. There was one Halloween where I just ate every caramilk that everybody had because nobody really wanted them. And now I can't think about it without feeling a little sick, so I don't really want to eat it. I think I've mentioned before that when I was very young, I used to sneak sips of my dad's coffee, and because of that, I acquired a taste for coffee, and then acquired a taste for coffee crisp, and nobody really liked coffee crisp when I was a kid, which meant more for me, and I had so many that I never want to put one in my mouth again. I straight up just don't like Kit Kats. Luckily there's not many in here, but they exist. I've been slowly eating the Skittles, but they make my tongue hurt, so I need to stop eating those. We have Smarties, and I could probably inhale all of these, but I don't want to. We have some Cadbury Oreo things. They're good, but I'm not a fan of milk chocolate so much. I like dark chocolate. I can eat it, and I did have one, and it was alright, but yeah, there's no way I'm eating all of this in one night. I will say that when I've just sat down in the table on the desk in front of me is an Aero bar, just a little one, little bite-sized one, and this is my favourite milk chocolate candy, for the simple fact that it has the least chocolate per volume. Because it has all of the air bubbles in it, it's just less chocolate. So when you eat it, you feel less sick because you're not ingesting as much chocolate, which I think is great. It's always sort of been one of my favourites. Never had too many of that one. What else? I'm looking around my room, seeing if I can find clues of what I've been up to. But I got nothing. There's I just heard people talking outside, I think. Weird. Anyway, something I did today was I wrote a cover letter, which I haven't done in a very long time, but I guess it's pretty essential to stand out for jobs now. But I applied to a thing because one of my classmates got accepted for a job through a company that's a little bit associated with the programs or the classes, or I guess the school that we went to, and they're very welcoming of recent graduates or even students still chipping away at their degree. And just the funniest thing, I spent a lot of my time rebelling against the system, sort of inadvertently, but then directly, by not using the software they wanted me to, but achieving the same, if not better, results than my classmates. Which is to say, I was using Blender and Unity when everybody else was forced to use Maya and Unreal. There's sort of a less of a, is the word paradigm? Less of a battle between Unity and Unreal, because it was like they have their own utilities, right? I was just more familiar with one than the other. But with Maya and Blender, it's like a pick and choose thing. Maya costs you an inordinate amount of money every month. Even on the student plan, it's still expensive. It hasn't been updated in years. Its UI is dated. It runs like garbage. It takes forever to open. The autosaves are bad. The UI is clunky. Everything is in a separate pop-up window. Yeah, and it's hard to navigate. It's a cobbled together piece of software. And it's been industry standard because the software that the rest of the games industry specifically, they had built their workflows around a software which the name of it I can't remember, because it's long before my time. But like up until like 2009, maybe later, games were being made, like models and animations and all this were being made with this one software. And then the company that owns Maya bought up that other software and then defunct it. They destroyed it, so Maya became the only option. Maya or 3ds Max, which is owned by another large evil company. It's a pretty terrible situation. Anyway, got sidetracked. So in school, I used Blender instead of Maya by the second semester out of 4 because I couldn't stand the program and I knew I could achieve some better results with Blender. So I did. And the sort of comment I'd get from doubting classmates would be like, well, you can learn all that and learn how to do it in Blender, but in the end, employers are going to be looking for, your degree is worth experience in Maya, not experience in Blender. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, right? So my classmate who's applied to this job associated with the school, the software that the company will be using, or the company requires their contracted employees to use, is not Unreal, not Unreal Engine, Unity, and not Maya, Blender. So my friend who prefers Maya over Blender because it's the one she knows, and only knows Unreal, not Unity, because it's the one we were taught in school, has been hired for a job that I am stupendously overqualified for. So I applied. And hopefully I will hear back from them in the coming months. They sort of do hiring waves, right? They hire people in the fall, and then when that 3-month period is over, they hire a new wave of people and rehire the ones that worked out. So hopefully I get in for the next hiring wave, but I have to write a long cover letter and submit it with my resume and then answer a bunch of questions in a forum. But I applied for that, and hopefully that pans out well. And now I have to teach Blender to my friend again, because now they're required for their job. Which I find quite funny. Whenever I go on a rant of that subject matter, I feel bad, because it's I'm ranting. The way I'm ranting about my experience or perspective on things, I'm putting myself on a pedestal in a way. Look at me, I'm so great for doing this subversive thing and learning the other thing on my own and doing this and fighting the system. I'm so great, and it actually worked out in the end because I am better, and yeah, no. Really, I think the term the kids use these days is glazing. It sounds like I'm glazing myself. Um, that term has sexual connotations, but I don't think most people use it in that way. Either way, I don't mean to do that, but I often come across like that. A flaw of mine, I suppose. Either way, another thing required for that what's the word? For that application was a portfolio, if you have one. And I don't necessarily have a portfolio. I've done a lot of things and worked on a lot of things over the years, right? Personal projects, projects with friends, what have you, school projects, right? Commissioned work. But I don't have a portfolio. I don't have a website. I don't have an art station. So, but what I do have is a Twitter account where I've uploaded everything I've ever done with the date it was created. And if there is no date, it was created on the day I posted it. Or at least in the era I posted it. The week, I don't know. Around that time. Either way, I have this Twitter account and I've had to upload many, many, many things. I spent a while looking through all of my stuff just to find what I had done, what I hadn't done, right? Things I knew existed, things I had forgot existed, and then uploaded those, got the time or the dates, and all that. And I came to realize as I was uploading like cover art or like Photoshop jobs I'd done, anybody with technical know-how could absolutely like find my other accounts by tracing things I've uploaded on Twitter to things I've uploaded on any accounts that are linked to this one, which is a little terrifying, if I'm being honest. And I like to keep a relatively anonymous sort of image on this, but I don't think I'm so paranoid about people finding me that I need to destroy the breadcrumb trail, so to speak. Like, I don't want people going into going to find me. It's not what I'm saying. But if somebody cares that much that they really, really have to know, like, where else I am or what other names I go by, then they can do their forensics and their complicated computer things to find me. And when they find me and are disappointed or uplifted or whatever they get out of finding the other me's, what are they going to do with that, really? Are they going to come back here and be like, actually, this person is this person, and blah, 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 right? Are they going to, like, cancel me because I liked the wrong thing on Twitter or something? Or I follow somebody they don't like? Probably not. Like, in all honesty, that's probably not going to happen. Like, there's a slim chance somebody does the forensics to find my other account, and then a slimmer chance that they care enough about what they found to come back here and do something about it. But still, I have to keep my brain open to every possibility, lest or God forbid, I be surprised. Now wondering to myself how well I'm going to sleep, if at all. Maybe I'll sleep well, maybe I won't, I don't know. I'm definitely going to shower before I go to bed. I think the hot water might make it a little easier, right? Who knows? Am I lost in thought, or am I just being stupid? Who knows? Who knows? One thing that has been plaguing my mind every time I get in the shower is how desperately I want to animate. Like, throughout 2023 and 24, I didn't have a lot of opportunities to like really animate things until like the school semester started and we had animation assignments. And that was fun. That was fun being able to do those. But after that point, I had to focus on the other classes, and like all my free time was being taken up by other things. But now that I have time to animate, I want to create something good. And for that, I want to create my original characters. And for that, I need to make my original characters, which I keep making excuses for why I can't make them yet. The last excuse I had was I need to get through my Twitter bookmarks, find all the references I want to use, then organize those so I can then work on the character and get the hair just right. And now that excuse is nearly gone, and I'm afraid I'm going to come up with a different one somehow, even though I desperately want to. Like, I can picture in my head what I want to make. My end goal for it is to make a song and a video that makes people feel something. Right? Like, for example, though I doubt I can make a song that good and a video that good anytime soon, the Shelter music video is an incredible little short film with an incredible song over it, with a beautiful, emotionally devastating sentiment behind it. And like the song itself stands on its own, which is rare for things like that. Not like, for one, most dance music, in my opinion, does not stand on its own and only has a place inside of clubs. But Shelter is a banger song with actual lyrics, and lyrics that mean something and they evoke an emotional response, right? Long way forward, trust me. I'll give them shelter like you've done for me. Clearly, that's about something, but the song on its own does what the video also does, which means they work in tandem to sort of double the emotional impact of the thing. But the video itself also stands on its own. It doesn't need the song to exist. And that's amazing. And that's what I want to do. Now, it's something that's like more sort of in line with what I'd be capable of, though definitely not the art style I'd go with, is the music video for the Cave Town song Green. The music video depicts something very sad, of like this creature giving all that it has to another person until it but it's not enough, and it ends up like destroying them or something. And I remember watching it once and not thinking much of it, and then watching it again, and then it made me cry. I don't know why it made me cry, but it did. And that's pretty amazing, right? So I want to accomplish something like that, but for that I need characters, I need a story, and I need a song. And I feel every day I'm getting closer to that, but not at a good pace right now because I'm sick. If I could get this character model done, and then get another character model done, and get a few others done, then I'd have a set of characters to work with, and then environments are something I can do quickly, right? That's something I have a lot of experience with. Oh. Recently I have a lot of experience with it, let's say that. So environments, easy, right? I can do that, right? And then animating. I love animating. And there's so many new... Wow, I'm making a lot of noise. There's so many new workflow tricks and such that I want to try, but I, again, don't have anything to animate yet. I'll get there. I'll get there. It's fine. I'm trying to think of any other music videos that really spoke to me at some point in my life. I wonder if there's a way I can search through my YouTube likes just for music videos. Eve has a number of good music videos because most of them are little anime with original characters and such. And it's very interesting. Wow, there is no way to search my liked videos. I will say, I love Nurture doesn't have any music videos that stand on their own. They exist to serve the music and act more like visualizers than anything. Same with Smile. Actually, no. Exception to that. The Everything to Me track has that beautiful little balloon girl animation, and that stands on its own. Actually, I think I almost cried to that one. Okay, so there's another example of a really good one. Sort of an interesting... Actually, I don't even know if it counts. I mean... Wow, I'm smacking everything. But I want to check the Arctic Monkeys YouTube channel. So I don't think they have any particularly any music videos that really stand on their own, but sort of interestingly I keep scrolling. They have the music videos for a lot of the Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. There's a lot of interesting cinematography and imagery, and it feels at times like the song was made for the music video rather than the other way around. Because it presents to you this idea of a fictional hotel on the moon, right? But in the end it does exist just to serve the song. So not quite it. Ooh. Here's a good example. Shake Me Down, Cage the Elephant. I think the music video for that one won an award. Cage the Elephant, Shake Me Down. Yeah, the music video for that one, well, most of it does exist to serve the song. The music video itself tells a separate, extremely tragic story. Well, not extremely tragic, but like, it sort of hurts your heart to watch. And that's pretty great. I guess another example, though it more plucks on every nostalgia string in my body, the Pokemon Gotcha music video, that one, the song I think exists separately to the music video itself. Though, like, I can't understand the lyrics. I should really look into a translation of the lyrics. I should also learn how to sing that song in Japanese. Anyway, either way, the music video itself is, like, very much its own thing. Ow! I'm gonna have to look through the fucking the recording later and just clip out all the little times I accidentally smack the table. What other music videos exist? Let me go to the bottom of my Spotify. Lone Digger by Caravan Palace. That music video is a bit raunchy, but it tells its own story, separate from the music. Again, nowhere near the quality or level of Shelter. And yeah, I don't think there's very many things that exist that reach the level of quality of Shelter, but the song is a banger and the music video is well animated. So we'll say that. Oh, Gorillaz is just sort of, and the entire project is that. Like, what if the music videos were episodes of a cartoon about the band? It's hard to say which serves which in that situation, but I don't think I don't think those ones are very, like, emotionally resonant. They're certainly, like, visual and audible, like, treats that intertwine, sort of. I don't know. People are there for the story and continuity of that one, rather than the like, any emotional one-time things. I don't know. Gorillaz is a very interesting thing, isn't it? It's very, very special in that way. I want to check now. Not Gorillaz. Foster the People. The Pumped Up Kicks music video is just a series of clips from when they were touring for, I think, their first album. They are completely different now from, like, what they were then. I think now even the drummer has left, but I'm not sure. Like, the original drummer's long gone, and of course after the second album the bassist left to go pursue film or something. Cubby Fink was his name. There's the music video for Best Friend, which is a bit odd, but again, I think serves the music rather than being its own thing. There's Pseudologia Fantastica, which I think is in a similar boat, but is more interesting because it's like animated. Yeah, no, I don't think any of their music videos are particularly exceptional in that way. There's Imagination, which I actually can't remember. I learned how to play that one on guitar very early on, actually. Surprisingly. Like, you'd think that'd be out of my... Like... There's a lot of bends in it. I learned how to play that one, like, I think in my first or second year of learning guitar. It's just kind of astounding. That was in high school. That song came out around then. Yeah, no particularly exceptional music videos there. Joji. I'm currently just looking through the music I was listening to in high school because I feel the ones deepest in my memory might be the ones that mean the most to me. Though seemingly he's deleted all of his old music videos. There is nothing older than 5 years. What the heck? No, there it is. Is it? Oh, it's on 88 Rising. Okay. I see. The Sanctuary music video is odd because the story of like that it presents is very interesting and very like it touches my heart in sort of a cute, fun way. Like this guy accidentally defeated his nemesis and now he's got nothing driving him, and his best friend notices that and decides to become the nemesis so his friend has something to live for again. And it's very, very sort of wholesome in that way, despite the sort of weirdness of it. And the song seems sort of unrelated to that. Like, no hidden park after dark, falling star, no one call away. Yeah, like it's clearly about a lover's relationship rather than a sort of frenemy nemesis type one. But what are you going to do? I think it's still a very good music video. But it definitely, like, I think why it can't stand on its own is because there's parts of it that can't exist unless the song is playing. Like parts where he's just sort of sitting in front of the camera, maybe doing something with his hands, but he's just like mouthing to the song. And as soon as I said doing stuff with his hands, I immediately thought of Half Alive, which is their like favorite thing to do in their music videos, is just like hand motions. Half Alive, I think they have one very good example, if I can find it. You know, like scroll down to their earliest stuff. Runaway. Well, a lot of it is like choreographed to the music, so it looks a little odd if you turn the music off. The story in it is extremely emotionally touching and tells like a tale that I'm sure thousands of people experienced like post World War II. It sort of has the same theme as that one of the episodes of Violet Evergarden. I highly recommend you watch the music video, but it like, other than being choreographed to the music, you could turn the music off and it would still be like an emotionally resonant short film. And then the song itself is also semi-related to the subject matter if you like see a connection to be made. Like, it isn't the thing it would make you think of until you put that in front of yourself and you realize this might be the thoughts of like the main character. And for that, it is an extremely good music video. I think that other music videos are just fun. I do love watching their music videos. Like, What's Wrong is a fun one. Don't always right to fix what's wrong, which like tells the tale of a sort of a prom gone wrong, through like, you know, weird choreographing and dancing and the classic hand movements we've like by this point come to expect from their music videos. Even like the clear fight between the characters is very much just them doing the same hand thing but more aggressively, and I think that's very fun. It does get sort of weird at the end, but like the point of it is made and a story is told, but it without the music it's just sort of odd. So I don't think that one passes quite. Summerland is like a vlog music video almost, so I don't think that one counts either. By the way, if any of you have any music videos that you think like fit what I'm talking about, that sort of they stand on their own but the music makes it so much better kind of thing, let me know. Like, name drop the music videos in the comments and I'll watch them. And maybe I'll talk about them later. Yeah, I think Half Alive just has the one. So the rest of them are sort of like choreographed dancing or them playing the song in a weird place or what have you. What else can we dig up? What else? You know, I can't think of any other Cave Town music videos other than the one for Green. So now I gotta check. Let's see. Wow, he's been really going at it. Yeah, there's the Green music video, 6 years ago. Huh. It came out a lot later than I thought it did. And there's Lemon Boy. Lemon Boy also has a music video, but it doesn't really like serve the what's the word? It's like him singing in a forest. That's the music video. Hmm. Hmm. What the fuck? Just made a big smack. I kept my lips closed for too long. I think Snail's House has a few. Maybe. Well, it's an odd thing with Snail's House because like his music is entirely instrumental. Well, instrument. It's all electronic, right? So there's no lyrics ever. But I think without the music, they're visual treats, right? Fuck, like looking at Imaginary Express, it's very pretty. And there's like a story there. It's like a scene in a movie to classical music, more like. If there's any, like, if I had to pick one Snail's House music video to tell everybody to watch, it wouldn't be any of the ones that you've definitely seen, like the Pixel Galaxy, which I think is the most viewed one. It would be the, if I can find it, Christmas of a Wandering Ghost, which I think is his best music video, though he doesn't make them himself, and apparently it's far from his most viewed one. He doesn't make them himself, but they're just good. Like, whoever he entrusts it to always seems to do a very good job. Utakata is another one that's very good and tells a story and sounds very beautiful. But yeah, Christmas of a Wandering Ghost is the one you should check out. What else? What else? I've been going on about this for 20 minutes. Can you believe that? Ooh. Sort of an interesting one, I'd say, would be Starlight Brigade. Starlight Brigade by TWRP has an interesting music video. It's like this sort of riffing off of like 80s anime aesthetics. It's definitely related to the song, but I have my issues with how the vocals were done. I love Dan Avidan, right? He's great, and I think he's quite funny. I watched Game Grumps for a number of years, but I don't think his vocal performance is quite what it should be, and I don't know if that's up to a processing or mixing issue or a recording issue or an issue with his voice, but I feel like it could have been better. Still, the song does punch at the like climax of the thing, and the music video is quite good and interesting. I don't think it comes close to any of the other ones that I said are like candidates for what I'm talking about, but it's something. It's something. There's a lot of bands I listen to that don't really have like music videos like what I'm looking for, or what I want to make rather. Like I think every hippocampus music video is a visualizer or them doing something while lip syncing to the song. Like, a music video for Violet is them just playing in a blank room. Same with, I think, Suicide Saturday and so on and so forth. South is just like weird as well. Yeah, not really it, is it? Oh, if anybody here likes emo rock, listen to Glass Beach, the first Glass Beach album. I think it's like the only super emo thing I listen to. Like, I don't really listen to My Chemical Romance or anything like that, any of that pop punk or like emo type thing, but Glass Beach, when it came out, was an exception to that. And to me, it's my like favorite Christmas time winter album because sort of the scenes described by the album fit the season. What else? What else? I'm just still going through this. I could probably do this forever. Why am I stuttering? What is that about? Stop doing that. You stupid. I've accidentally given myself a stutter. Like, I started doing it for comedic effect. Because I thought it was like an effective means for things. But now I'm just sort of doing it on impulse. And I think to some people it sounds like I actually have a stutter. But I don't. I don't. I'm just silly. I don't know. I don't know. Declan McKenna. He has a music video for, let's find it. I think it's The Key to Life on Earth. It's I don't think it fits like that emotionally resonant one, but it's definitely a fun one that can exist separate from the music. Though there are a few bits where he's lip syncing to the thing, it tells its own story of these like two identical guys who are like living in harmony. And then, of course, their relationship turns sour, and one starts like taking up a part of the life of the other and such. It's fun. It's a difficult thing. There are very few music videos that meet this criteria, hey? Very few. Which is, again, like, if you think you have any that fit that, please tell me. I'd love to know. A good one might actually be Shinkiro. It's just like Hosho, Marin, and Gargura. That one had a lot of budget put into the animation and tells a little story. Though if you think too hard about it, like, stops being that interesting. The animation's nice. There is a story. I don't know. I don't think it properly fits though. I'm not going to I'm not going to verify that there aren't any Nurture era Porter Robinson ones that like fit. Because I think the thing with like Nurture era Porter Robinson is, oh, you know what, Musician, Doi. Yeah, Musician's another one. There you go. That one can exist without the music. Nine years ago. So I guess he wasn't that young when Shelter came out. He was 24. Still, it's a little freaky that him and Matyon did that and got like an animation studio, A1 Pictures, to sort of he got that deal with like well in my age range, which is insane. That's insane. One day I'm gonna meet that guy. I don't know if we'll be friends, because I think at the very least I'm like out of what could be his circle, and he plays League of Legends, which I don't particularly agree with, but I appreciate his existence so much. Good Kid. Good Kid has a music video for one of their songs. Oh, they're from Toronto. I knew they were Canadian. I thought they were from Vancouver, though. I haven't checked in on any of their recent stuff. Summer is a music video of theirs that has that sort of emotionally evocative. Though I don't remember the song itself being that good. I should probably check in on that. Astoundingly, I don't think any of the Black Country New Road music videos are particularly emotionally resonant in a way that that is separate from the song. Like the music video for Concord is just like weird and synced to the music, and then there's no other music videos for that era. that's actually kind of insane that there's no other music videos. You could make the argument that the Live at Bush Hall thing counts as a music video on its own, but I wouldn't make that argument. I don't think I agree with that assessment. Anyway, I've been on this tangent for far too long, and now it's 4 AM, so I think I'm going to go to bed. If you enjoyed this one, share your favourite music video in the comments, please. If you are having a hard time falling asleep, even after I've just rambled about fucking nothing for an hour and a half, put on... Oh, fuck, what did I fall asleep to last night? I know I watched something, like, my typical setup is I'll put on something like long and, for lack of a better word, boring, and then throw in an ASMR video that I like, that I know, on after, because by the time I get to it I'll be too sleepy to care about repetition, and I'll just like coast off to sleep if I somehow make it through the long and boring video. In this case, the long and boring video, though it actually wasn't that boring and I do remember a little bit of it, was America's Atlantis, the Lost Colony of Roanoke, by Mini Minuteman. Just came out the other day. So that's the video I went with. So if you're having trouble sleeping, maybe put that on and turn off the screen, because I don't think the visuals are super needed. And if you think they are, some phone screens have an option for an extra dim setting. So if you turn the brightness all the way down and then look for the extra dim setting, you can get it like extra dark to not sort of obstruct your sleep. If you're just waking up, go find a music video as tribute. And if you've already fallen, really tripping over my tongue today. If you've already fallen asleep, sleep well, sweet dreams, good night, and bye-bye.